before I proceed with this video, I must warn you, this is going to be a yapping session. You might recall last year we made a nice highlight for the Heatseeker collection because, well, it had tons of momentum. It was going to look as if it was going to work out as an amazing collection to invest into. We know what? This year, we have to respect that Popstar collection is doing very nicely. The amount of acceptances it's had is absolutely ridiculous. Like 7 acceptances in the past 3 months. So I thought, you know what? Let's sit down and let's start yapping about that. So by all means, look at the description. You'll see all the chapters right there. Maybe not everything is for you, but maybe a certain chapter might have caught your eye. Listen in, because honestly, we have to respect that it's going to probably work out quite nicely over the course of the next several weeks. What was summer peaks expected, like in just a few weeks' time? But inevitably, we also have the autumn fall seasonal dip. It wouldn't surprise me if the anime skins still suffer. Because it's not just Popstar collection, it's also Hazma Collection. It's also potential future skins as well. We have no idea how silly it's going to get. And it's quite a surprise because in the past, we didn't normally see anime skins in Rust, did we? So, with that, let's proceed. Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope tonight it's time for an interesting yapping session. Popstar Summer. So last year, the Heatseeker collection, it was progressing very, very nicely. After just a few acceptances, it was pretty obvious this set was going to be it was going to be something special. And us, the Ruskin investors, we were looking at the skins and we were questioning how much should we buy. Now, there were some complications. I'm sure many of you fully remember the MP5 with the amount of sales that got. Oh boy, that didn't work out perfectly fine, did it? Or did it? Because, yes, whilst it sold an absurd amount, and whilst for a very long time we saw a ridiculous amount listed on the Steam market, eventually it just worked out perfectly fine. Right now, as of June 22nd, 2026, that is reaching a brand new all-time high price. Because the demand is there. That's the main thing. Now, I know some people might be a bit surprised for me to sit here and say I want to do a video dedicated to talking about Popstar. But, well, yeah. We kind of did one about Hellcore not too long ago, didn't we, as you'll notice over to here. I have to acknowledge that things are looking pretty interesting right now for this collection. And, again, it's anime skins in general. It's also Hazma Collection too. But the special thing about this is that it didn't really all appear just this year. It's actually been around since, like, 2024. Because if you go to the workshop right now, if you look at its collection, you'll notice there's actually a few skins that are never accepted. They might appear in the future, you never know. And of course, we might happen to have something brand new to showcase to you as well. Oh, yes, indeed. So let's hop out of here and let's go over and take a look at the current situation with the whole collection. I must remind you that for quite some time, we didn't see a Popstar skin being accepted, even though at one point we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skins. Okay? For half a year, we saw nothing. But then eventually, we did see the MP5. And then after that, it was just acceptance after acceptance after acceptance. You know how it's been because this is recent. Right, so let's just quickly go down memory lane and remember things. So, in the past, we used to never ever see anime skins whatsoever. There might have been a few attempts here and there. But a lot of people just laughed it off. Because by default, there's quite a lot of people that don't happen to like anime. Chances are they're going to comment right now in the video. I do get a lot of people commenting saying, Hedge, I don't like anime. I don't want it in Rust. Why is this here? Okay, mate, I mean, chill out. It's all good. Relax. But we must acknowledge that we have seen anime skins in the past. You might recall the Emma and Mizkif AK-47. That was the special Twitch drop in the summer of 2024. And later that year, we also happened to have the Sukuno and Doku Bird AK-47. Wow, some of those names. Moving on. So, yes, we have seen some interesting skins just before we saw the eventual Popstar AK-47. Yeah, it was just called Popstar, but it's okay. Anyway, that eventually appeared. And that was a big surprise to us because, wow, we've actually got a marketable one now? Yeah, okay. Now, surprisingly, it didn't sell too ridiculously. That right there, it only did about 15,000 subscribers. In fact, go to SMM. It'll quite literally tell you. Yeah, it did about 14,500. Okay, cool. So, what happened? Well, it came out, and then we didn't see anything for a while. It suffered. Oh. But then eventually we saw more and more and more. If I can recall, the LR300 was second. Yep. So we saw the LR300, then the Thompson, then the SAR, then there was a bit of a break. Then we got a garage door. Then, to my surprise, we got an M249. And then, of course, last year, we saw a bed. And then we didn't see anything for half a year. So let's just quickly go through the timeline, because this is actually a great thing to learn from. Popstar has already suffered before. So considering this was accepted back in, November 2024, we didn't see a sequel until February 2025. And you can see that pretty easily because, as I said, it suffered. What's this? An LR300? Boing. And then from there, it's just slowly been recovering and doing better. And of course, once we had like the garage door, and when we eventually saw a bed, that was very sweet. But inevitably, every single year, we have a bad drop off. We have the autumn-fall seasonal dip. So during September, October, November, in theory, a lot of kids, they go back to school. They can't focus Rust anymore. No. They have to focus homework. They have to study. Oh no. So usually, we would have a drop-off with the player count. Usually, with less people playing, there'll be less demand for skins. There'll be lower prices. Not too hard to comprehend. But what happens after that is we then steer closer and closer to December, and of course, January time, Christmas, post-Christmas. Around this period of time, towards the very end of the year, at the very beginning of the next year, kids are out of school, people aren't working as much, plenty of time to play Rust. And it's not too hard to notice. Well, you know what? Time has gone very quick this year. I was about to say, it wasn't that long ago we had Christmas. Really, Hedge? It was half a year ago. I'm getting old. Anyway, yes, as you'll notice, look at the amount of people playing here compared to like over here. Wow. But it's during these months here where the drop-off happens, and it's during these months here where we notice a lovely spike in demand, spike in price. But with what's happening soon, with what's happening very, very soon, that being July and August, we are expecting the quote-unquote summer peaks. It's during this period of time where a lot of kids around the world, they're out of school. Summer vacation, summer holiday, they've got plenty more time to play Rust. What? Go outside? Have fun? No. Sit indoors, scream at people and Rust. So again, more people playing, more demand for skins, higher skin prices. Okay, cool. So at the very least, with how things are currently with this collection, I can only hope things do even better. But based on what we saw with the skins from last year, you have to acknowledge that there will be a drop-off, okay? Now, if we honestly don't see any more skins being accepted after this, I guess there could be a bit of a problem. But with the amount we have now in total, I honestly believe we're probably going to be doing quite all right. It also wouldn't surprise me if we get like the random acceptance next year, like here and there and whatnot. Like Heatseeker's still getting skins accepted. Not as much before, but it's still getting them every now and then. So, alright, cool. But let's just point out, we still didn't see any acceptances, but it's still spiked demand, spiked in price ever so nice. And post-Christmas was pretty sweet. Yep. So that was when the bed was accepted, then it drops off. Didn't really do that much for quite some time. Easter dip happens. And then after that, well, then we started to see an interesting batch of skins. So we started to see the MP5, the jackhammer, the sheet metal door, the pump shotgun, then there was a break. Then we got the backpack, then there was a break. Then we got the electric furnace, then there was a break. Then we got the auto turret, yippee! For the past 3 months, it's nearly been consistent acceptances. It has been ridiculous. And I have to sit here and make a big fuss about it because look at it. Look at the collection. There is so much in the green. Now, unfortunately, the MP5 could be doing better. That's probably because, with the amount of pay-to-win MP5s we currently have in the game, people are probably preferring those ones instead of the anime girl on MP5. And pump shotguns, I'll be honest with you, with it like recently being the focused item of the month when it got tons of skins accepted, I guess people just aren't too fussed with them. But acknowledge the sheet metal door, the backpack, the electric furnace, and currently right now in the store, a Popstar auto turret. She will protect your base, don't you worry. So, yeah, cute, silly. Right, so let's just quickly go over the MP5. Please acknowledge that this honestly doesn't have that many listings, right? It's literally like 5 off and then it's back up to its Rust price. No, 10 sales. I looked at the 5 there. Sorry, I got that mixed up. 10 sales, back up and doing good. And you might be surprised to find out a lot of the skins in this set are basically like that. So just a few sales and it could do so much better. But in this particular instance, the AK, it's been around for quite some time now. It's got hardly any listings, but it's already doing very, very, very good. And I must remind you, back in March time this year, this was sitting at around $2 to $2.50. It was down bad. All of the skins you see here up to the bed, like only the 2 deplorables were slightly in the positive, barely profitable. But all the weapon skins, they were struggling, they were suffering. Okay? But then with all the momentum we have now, oh, that's looking amazing. So what if it suddenly stops? And what is there to be expected as we go through September, October, November 2026? Well, I expect it to happen all over again. What I'm going to imply is that as we get closer and closer to July and August, you're probably going to want to consider selling. Maybe don't sell everything, true. And considering we have a much bigger collection now, you could just hold on to everything and wait until post-Christmas, January 2027. But you're going to be pleasantly surprised to see how low the prices will go down as we go through October 2026. Because I should remind you, it's usually October time where we see the worst of it. It's usually October. In fact, if I look at the AK right now, how bad were you specifically around October time? And you'll see it does appear to reach its absolute rock bottom price around the very beginning of October, okay? This happens a lot during October. Many skins. It's not just this. It's not just this collection. It's pretty much every single skin in Rust. They usually reach a real bad rock bottom price October time. So if you know that's going to happen, and you acknowledge that we're about to go through a very good time, summer peaks, maybe it might be smarter to sell when there's loads of people playing, and then when there's not as many people playing and the prices reach rock bottom prices, it might be smart to go ahead and buy them back again. You're learning. And then, of course, what happens once we reach January time? Well, there's a lot more people playing again. You can just keep doing this. So basically, I'm just kind of teaching you the routine, but I'm also sitting here and expecting that we're going to still, keep seeing more Popstar skins. Like, I am hoping that we could probably see the hammer being accepted. Ooh, get a good look at this. And don't you worry, we will be showcasing that. I am expecting quite a few more interesting skins to be produced. And the skin creator has hinted that we might be seeing some interesting designs appearing on the workshop soon, aka we might be getting a Popstar shopfront. Now, how's that going to look? I don't know, but yep, let me remind all of you, the brand new Skinnable for July 2026 is going to be the metal shopfront. And we do have some strange looking designs already. Cool. What ideas do you have? Feel free to comment below. So, yes. Going back down memory lane, this, like, if I showed this to myself, like the 2023 Hedge, I would have laughed at that. I would have just dismissed it. I'd have said, no, that's never going to happen. Anime skins, every time I see them on the workshop, they hardly, no, they don't get accepted. They weren't accepted. But things have changed now. So, maybe the Twitch drops were the gateway to all of this. Who knows? But I guess Face Punch probably noticed that a lot of people wanted to pick those up. A lot of people did. But it's not just Popstar Collection. It's also Hazma Collection. So as I go over to here, Hazma's also been very, very successful. And Hazma is also trying to get more skins accepted. But let's also remind you, earlier this year, January 2026, the Garage Door came out and it did over 50,000 subscribers. What? Now, at the very least, right, I guess you can sit here and say that is in relation to Rust, because that is the Hazmat. As an anime girl. Yes. And I have seen the skin creator trying to do other things, because they haven't been as successful as Popstar, but they certainly have been trying, and as you might notice, they tried to do the Arctic Hazmat suit as well. So, yep. Tomoha, obviously in relation, I'm talking too quickly, in relation to the snowmobile. Yes, you can see it right there. Would you like to see a anime hazmat for each hazmat? For the comment below. But that wasn't accepted, was it? But what with the recent announcement, or rather the unveiling, that we're going to get some more interesting brand new plushies, charity plushies. Yep, they're on the way. We have a brand new version for the, the Cancer Research Charity, the Ronald McDonald House, and there's also an animal charity. You can see the three brand new things right there. I'm not being the most descriptive. I'm very sorry. Mr. Protox has been talking about this on his Twitter. I'll link that in the description. You can go see that for yourself. But yes, this is actually like the third attempt for the sheet metal double door, by the way. Because we're not really sure what's going on with Hazma. It's not like the skin creator hasn't tried, but Face Punch just hasn't really wanted to accept it. So originally it looked like that. Then obviously they tweaked the design because, of course, if we're going to get some brand new charity plushies, I guess that's a perfectly fine excuse to make a new version. So it's topical, it's on point, and they do look very nice there. So props to Aaron, the skin creator there. But is that going to get any more skins accepted? They did get the surprise acceptance of an Easter version of their garage door, which I've never seen happen before. But this is the power of anime. Yeah. I very much am under the impression that someone at Face Punch who's in charge of skins is very much into anime. So if you're questioning, why do they keep accepting these? Now you know. And to all the people that kept saying, oh, this is never going to be accepted and whatnot, I'm sorry to say, but anime has won. You have lost. Now you have to go buy every single skin. You must. It's the rules. It's the rules. So, yep, sheep in the door as well. In fact, I think I have that prepared over to here. Yep, because I was going to go ahead and, like, do nice comparisons between, like, the sheep in the door for Popstar. This right here, it didn't sell that much, if I can recall. So, just to point out, Hazma, this sheep in the door appeared back in March, and that did over 40,000 subscribers. But with the Popstar sheep in the door, that only did 21,000, almost 22,000. And both of them are doing amazing. Both of them are doing absolutely amazing on the Steam market. That right now is selling for just over $4. And the Hazma sheep in the door is selling for just over $4 as well. Whilst it has more listings, the demand is there. Like, we just made a big fuss about the garage door for Hazma. That had over 50,000 subscribers. Now, if you don't fully understand subscribers, let me quickly explain. Subscriber count is based on the individual people that have bought the skin. On the workshop, it only showcases that, basically. It's not going to point out how many each person bought. But at bare minimum, I can confirm to you, 14,101 people have bought this auto turret. Maybe some of them only just bought one for themselves. Maybe some people bought an extra for a friend. Maybe some people are investors and they bought 100. They're always only going to be listed as one individual person each. So it's correct. We just don't know how many of them actually are in circulation, if that makes sense. So, cool. So what do you reckon then? Are we still going to see more Popstar collection skins being accepted? Are we still going to see more Hazma skins being accepted? Even though right now that's kind of a bit stuck. To be honest with you, with Hazma, it wouldn't surprise me if that skin creator is allowed to have Halloween Hazma and Christmas Hazma. That wouldn't be too surprising. And you'll then be surprised to find out that this skin creator here, Mr. Rare, Mr. RR3, he happens to have some Christmas skins that he's been making. So once you see it, you'll instantly remember. Because to my surprise, last Christmas, we didn't get Christmas Miracle Garage Door. Do you remember the sheep in the door? Yep. We have one Christmas anime skin, don't we? And that actually appeared before Popstar, if I can recall. Let's go ahead and remind ourselves. So Christmas Miracle. Yes, we can't evade it. We can't avoid it. There'll always be anime. So, yes. I should warn you. I should point this out. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. She will rise up in price. It's inevitable. She is inevitable. Last year, this rose up very, very nicely. And it dropped off. And we're already getting close to the price it peaked at last year. That is how much support Christmas skins have. That is how much support anime skins have. You've been warned. So, okay. Well, there you go. Similar design, but not exactly straight up the same design. And now with Hazma getting the Easter skin, chances are you're going to have Popstar and Hazma adjacent skins being posted. There is no escape. You cannot escape this. And it's not just that now, because somewhat recently I have noticed like other people attempting to do their very own sort of anime skins and whatnot. Can you see them? You probably spotted them very quickly, right? Yeah. Mr. Maxis, what are you up to? I don't think that's anime, to be honest with you. But that would be very distracting. Those poor souls playing Rust, easily distracted. Just put some mines in front of these and, well, there'd be lots of explosions. Oh no. Sazabe says he sees no problem. Oh, well. Anyway, so I've been rambling a lot. The main point I want to get across to all of you is there's going to be some pretty interesting things going on with this. But I believe if you have not got involved yet, don't do anything just yet. Maybe look at the auto turret perhaps, but then again, we're expecting a lot more auto turret skins, so it might be smarter to still just stick with a Bardra there. But look at all of these skins around October time, okay? Probably the first week of October 2026. Mark it in your calendar. Remind yourself. Look at this collection again. It will very likely drop off to a brand new low point. That'd be a perfect time to invest, okay? Same can be said with Hazma. Unless we see a Hazma Halloween skin. We'll see about that. But yes, I assure you, this is looking to be pretty sweet. I won't be surprised if we're still going to see the occasional skin being submitted and being accepted as time goes on. But the current momentum we have, it's not going to last forever. So whilst the prices looking very good at the moment, is it because the collection's very, very in demand? Or is it simply because we have so much momentum due to the fact we keep seeing more and more being accepted? Is it just by command, spike in price? I will remind you, at one point this was pushing up to $10. Now this is only $8.50. But yes, there was so much support. Perhaps you could also say, you know what, Hedge, I reckon we're starting to call off. Last year, you might remember we had a random June dip. There was no proper explanation for it. I don't have an explanation for it, but I acknowledge it happened. Maybe we're going for a bit of a dip right now because it looks as if we actually already peaked in price for certain instances. But then again, what do you think appeared here at, on June 4 swipe? Oh yeah, a collection continuation. So maybe it's only because of that. Hey, we'll see how things go. But I do believe over the course of the next several weeks, as we enter July and go through August as well, you're going to potentially see those prices reach up even higher prices. But maybe it might be the smart thing to do to go ahead, get those sales in whilst you can, and then reinvest into it when the prices drop off during October. There you go. So, all right, cool. Understood. All's good. Right, so, you know what? How about we hop in game and just get a good look at all of it? And here we have the newest edition. We've got a hammer skin. And I'm sure many of you are fully aware. We don't tend to see that many hammer skins being accepted. But when we do, and if they happen to glow in the dark, oh, well. I'm pretty sure a lot of people might be wanting it. I would be surprised if it sells quite a lot. Like, of course, last year for Halloween 2025, we saw the Hammer from Hell. That sold a lot. Have you seen the price of it right now? So I wouldn't be surprised if something like this would be greatly appreciated. Also, take note, the design of the girl has been updated once more. Have you noticed that with all the designs over the past few years? Don't worry, we'll be showcasing that, but yep. Get a good look at that. An MP3, Skin Creator referred to it as a sound speaker. I guess you could also look at it as if it's like a tablet. But yep, there's a very nice looking design. But also, oh yeah, it glows. It glows very, very brightly. Now, I know some people are still going to sit there and say, I don't want anime. You have to respect a glow-in-the-dark hammer would be appreciated greatly. Hammers are very reliable investments. If that gets accepted, I'm buying 200. Maybe even more. I'm not joking. So, yeah. Get a good look at that. Was this just like a super elaborate video? Just an attempt to eventually showcase this? Well, it wouldn't be a short video then, would it? Anyway, yep. That's a very nice looking potential collection continuation. What I should do is also hold it in my hands. Get a good look at that. Daytime. Get a good look at that. So yeah, a very bright, cheerful, colourful looking design. Yes, I do believe a lot of people will be buying that, if it were to be accepted. Do you think it's going to happen? Feel free to comment below. But yeah, we honestly don't see too many hammer skins being produced. We hardly see any of them being accepted. But if they are good, if people like them, oh yeah, they're going to sell very, very nicely. And I can't say that more than enough, can I? So, alright, cool, we get the point, Hedge, we understand. Now, if I could just hop over to here, strike a pose at night time. I do have to talk about certain other skins I'm wearing right there, but yeah. Things are looking pretty bright as of now. But how long does it go on for? How many more Popstar skins will we see being accepted as we go through the next several weeks? Does it stop with this? Does it stop with potentially more? Skin Creator has just turned up and said he intends to make an armoured door and a metal shop front next. So, keep an eye out on the workshop. Perhaps you might like a brand new attempt on the tier 3. What with the ever-changing design of the girl, Would you like a newer version? For what it was, I mean, it was goofy, it was silly, but I know a lot of people would greatly appreciate some armor like that. Come on now. Be honest, you'd love to door camp people dressed up as an anime girl. Would you prefer if it kept the anime girl eyes, or should the eye slits just be, what would the eyes be? Like, what are your thoughts in regards to the eyes? Because that's always kind of been the question as we've looked at this. Feel free to offer your opinion. And then, of course, we recently did see the backpack skin being accepted. You'll notice that, oh, wow, yeah, that's the older design, isn't it? Yeah. And then we'll look over to here and, oh, yeah. An even older design, if I can recall. Let's remind myself of, yep, there you go, I can turn around. So the whole collection has progressively evolved more and more. With more support, she evolves more so, I guess. It's not a Pokemon Hedge. But I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it like Hatsune Miku? I guess. I don't understand anything like that, alright? I'm old, I'm so sorry. But I'm thinking I'm correct in that regard. So, yeah, her style changes, and the designs get more and more interesting and intricate. That's why maybe a brand new version, a brand new attempt at the tier 3 might be justified. So, alright, cool. Let's now go this way, because over to here we have some other skins to showcase. Yeah. Listen, alright? It's not a problem to have. I am merely a Ruskin investor, collector, right? This is a perfectly normal and healthy habit, okay? I just appreciate collecting things. Don't judge me. Shut up. Quiet. Anyway, let's just move the sun around a little bit. Come on. We want to get the best view. There we go. All the way around. And let's just acknowledge the skins we've seen being accepted somewhat recently. Now, I might want to lower the volume because, of course, you're just going to constantly hear the... This is currently in the Rust store. It is selling quite modestly. But that was to be expected because a lot of people are fully well aware of, like, how brand new Skinnables behave. But what would you personally like to see being made next? I've been asking for a rock. You know, like in the past, when an anime character would get accidentally hit or knocked out, and then they had the squirrely eyes. That should be for the rock. Yes. We'll see if that could happen, but Popstar, Rockstar, I'm just saying. So yeah, would you like to have an anime girl protect your base? Feel free to comment below. Now, we had probably the most creative and colourful looking electric furnaces, well, you know what, probably ever. Who knows what else is going to get produced, but based on what I've seen so far, I don't think anything compares to this. Now again, it might not be for you, it might not be what you're into and whatnot, fair enough. But with how they approached it, with its design, come on now, you have to respect that. That looks cool. Nighttime look, lights off. I've got so many electricals out, it's ruining the budget. Anyway, move on. Yep, yeah, good look at that. Well, anything compared to that, is it your favourite? Feel free to comment below. So yeah, very bright, very colourful. No glow with the auto turret though. Can confirm the bed happens to glow quite nicely. Yes, get a good look at that. So yeah, bright and colourful. You'll notice like the different designs and whatnot with the little gremlin version. Popstar right there on the back as well. So nice and cheery. We have the recent newer sheet metal door. We have the older garage door. Could we potentially have a sheet metal double door? We'll see. But yeah, older design, even though it's kind of got like a bit of a clean-up revamp. And then you have what is probably the newer design that we've seen in the auto turret and the hammer. So, alright, cool. It's nice to see some progression. It's nice to see a skin creator evolve, improve their quality, and, you know, their own style as well. So, that's actually a nice thing to see. It's cool. What hair colour would you like next? Feel free to comment below. Anyway, we also must acknowledge the Hazma also appeared as well. So, Garage Door, you sold absolutely insanely. And, well, even now, you're doing perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Would you like to see any other sort of deplorable? Feel free to comment below. Would you like to see some clothing and armour from Hazma? What about a weapon? You know, Popstar's got a whole bunch of weapon skins and whatnot. I know it only showed off the AK, but what would you like from Hazma? What cool idea would you have for a Halloween skin if we were to see Halloween Hazma? Would you like to see this sheet metal double door being accepted? Again, it seems to be very on point. I've forgotten the name of the blue one. It's to do with animals, animal protection or something. I think with the plushies, they should have done different animals. But hey, that was honestly like a perfectly cool, nice change there. Maybe this is the one that gets accepted. Maybe we just keep seeing more and more anime. Maybe both of the collections flourish and work out wonderfully. But then we have the independent designs, don't we? Because it's not just Hazma. It's not just Popstar. We have been seeing some other things. So for the final showcase, I'm so sorry. You might notice it doesn't happen to glow in the dark. Maybe it's for the better, because it deserves to hide in the shade for the... Chat, be honest. Do you need it? It would be very distracting. Which one's your favourite? Anyway, that's a wrap. So, for something that never ever got accepted, sadly becoming fairly popular, are we ever going to see anything like this ever again? Whilst I'm here, I'll also mention what Mr. Frankie suggested. If you're going to have anime girls constantly, where's the anime boys? There you go, Frankie. I said it. Now you can give me my payment. But he's right. He's right. If you're going to constantly go for all the cutesy anime girls, where's the cool, heroic-looking guys? You know that. Where's my berserk themes? You know, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That would be cool, actually. So, all right. Well, there you go. Do you think we'll ever see the armor being accepted as well? What do you reckon? Well, that honestly is a wrap now, so thank you very much for the yapping session. Thank you very much for sitting by. I have sat here without the air conditioning on for about an hour or so because I just kept messing up trying to record this. I have been sweating constantly. I'm going to go flop on the floor and not move for maybe a few hours because I need that. Have a good one. Survive the heat waves. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.